Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be telling you guys about my postpartum experience and what my camera's a little off. Okay, so I'm going to be telling you guys about my postpartum experience and what my must-haves were. So as you guys know, if you've watched my labor and delivery story, you know that fortunately I was blessed and I didn't have a super bad like postpartum. I didn't tear really bad. I had no complications, but there were some things that did make it easier because there was some discomfort. So really the worst thing that I had was I had a first-degree tear. I think it involved like one stitch, maybe two. And I didn't breastfeed, or I'm not breastfeeding, so I had to let my milk dry up. I will throw this in for my postpartum experience because I am so small framed and TJ was such a big baby. He was 8 pounds 5 ounces. They took him 2 weeks early. He came 2 weeks early. Because of that, I have some rib heads here. So rib heads, so like if this is your sternum, which is the flat bone right here, if this is your sternum, your ribs connect to the sternum. And I will try to put a picture in like right here maybe somewhere so that you guys can kind of like get a better idea of what I'm telling you. And it's connected by some cartilage. So because he was so big and I was so small, it disconnected. So now my ribs are out of place basically. So they will kind of sit more like this instead of like this, if that makes, they like overlap my sternum. So I have to see a chiropractor. So that's probably been the worst part of it so far. That really hurts. If you've ever broken a rib, it feels about like that. Maybe not quite that bad. So I just have to go in a couple times a week, and my chiropractor has to tap him and push him back in place. So that's really painful. There's not really a whole lot that helps with the pain. I can take like Motrin 800 or just ibuprofen and then combine it with Tylenol, and that helps get rid of most of the pain, but not all of it. So there's really, other than just hot showers, like I can alternate heat and ice on it, and that doesn't help a whole lot, but I can do that. There's really nothing I can do. So that was the biggest, that was the worst part. As far as my tearing goes, so I didn't bring my peri bottle, but if you've had a baby, you know what that is. If you haven't had a baby and you're like, what in the world is that? So it's about that tall, and it has, it looks kind of like a mini water bottle, and you fill it up with warm water and you squeeze it on your area down there and it helps it heal. And when you're peeing, you want to use it as well because it helps not burn. That was a lifesaver. Even though it wasn't a bad tear, that was still a lifesaver. I did not do the sitz bath. I thought it was dumb. I tried it one time. It made a bigger mess than it was worth. It actually took me and my husband just to try and maneuver it, and it's like, you don't have time for that when you have a newborn baby. So I vetoed that. I instead just took like 2 showers a day and just kind of let the warm water just run down my back side and down my front side, and try to just, let as much water as I could just hit that area. And then again, I just used the peri bottle every single time I went to the bathroom. It healed pretty quick. I think after a week and a half or so, it didn't hurt. Well, no, it was a week and a half that didn't hurt. I will get to something else in just a second, but the hospital did give me some, okay, so first they gave me these. They are just postpartum panties, and I use these and my postpartum or my granny panty underwear, which I should have brought a pair. I'll go get a pair. Hold on. Okay, so I also used these. They are just cotton. I think I got them at I know I got them at the dollar store. Fruit of the Loom. They're just granny panties. So these and these I used with my pads. And the hospital gave me some pads, and I'll show them to you. So they look like that. And basically I would take 2 of them and just, I'd put one in kind of as far over to the side as I could. It would even hang off, this part would just hang off just a little bit, and then I would overlap another one. Those were great. My mom also bought me the, I think they were by Poise, the overnight pads, and they had a little more cushion to them, and those were really nice too, especially for sitting. And they also gave me these. So these are ice packs, and what you do is you take them, actually I don't think you take them out of the bag. You break them in the bag and they pop, and then you shake them and they get really cold. And then they have this little sticky pad that runs all the way down them, and then you can stick them to those pads. And they do absorb a little bit of the blood, but if your hospital gives you these, take every one of them that you can, and just make sure that, you know, I made sure that I always had pads on underneath this too, because they do absorb some, but not a lot. But these were also really good for sticking on the inside of my sports bras or my shirts and resting on my boobs while I was drying up my milk. The other thing that this was really nice for, so because I had to wear pads because I had to wear pads for so long, at about 2 weeks my bleeding slowed down enough to where I didn't really need the big huge pads. I could just wear the just like normal period pads, but because I did have to wear pads and tight underwear for 2 weeks, I got a horrible like rash down there, and it was awful. It was excruciating, you guys. Like, it was so bad. Like, there was literally a raw spot. It was so bad. So what did I do for that, you ask? Well, let me tell you. If you experience this, or if you're a person who chafes really bad, go down to Tractor Supply, or I'm trying to think of some other places that there might be, like Rural King, probably Trader Joe's. Go somewhere like that, and it'll be over in the farm animal section, like mainly like where like cow stuff is, and get bag balm. Let me tell you guys, I had to put that down there, and I just wore, I dug these back out, these pretty little things, and I went without a pad for like probably a week and a half with just bag balm and just these, because I was like, well, I bought these with the intention to get blood all over them, and I'm not bleeding bad, so I might as well just, you know, not wear a pad and just use these. So that's what I did. This bag balm had that feeling so much better within 24 hours. I swear, you guys, I woke up literally the next day and it felt so much better. Of course, though, at that time we were also going to Indiana to visit with my dad, so I was sitting in a car for like 7 hours. So I definitely had to use this for like a solid week to completely get rid of it, but it worked. It was amazing. It was great. So get you some bag balm. Also, if you're not breastfeeding and your nipples dry out, bag balm. You might be able to use it while breastfeeding. I would ask your doctor because it is medicated and I don't know what it is medicated with. But it's to help dairy cows from becoming chapped from the harsh environment of Vermont's rugged Northeast Kingdom. So, but if you are breastfeeding, I would ask your doctor, your doctor would probably, I don't know, your pediatrician might know. Ask a doctor before you use this, but if you're not breastfeeding and your nipples dry out, use this. So far, my must-haves were the hospital pads, my panties, and this bag balm. Another must-have was, I had to continue taking my prenatal vitamin. I'm looking for it, so I'm going to talk to you guys while I try and find it. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, so I had to keep taking my prenatal vitamin, even though I wasn't breastfeeding. My iron was low, and I'm still taking it. I think it does wonderful things for my hair, and I need to be taking a vitamin anyway, so why not take a prenatal vitamin? I still have like a whole bottle left because we had just bought the bottle, and then TJ was born like a few days later. But also, it's just good to be on this because of the stuff sometimes that they can pump you with in the hospital. Stool softener. This was a lifesaver for me. This and, so I took, it's just the Equate, I think I got it at Walmart. It's just their stool softener. But let me say this. I got the one that says gentle, dependable, and stimulant free. So what that means is stool softeners can come in two ways. They can have a stimulant, which means they have a laxative in them. I don't do super well with that, especially not if I'm gonna have to be taking it regularly, because laxatives make my stomach hurt really, really bad. Even if I just take like half of the lowest dose, so like say it was like 15 milliliters, if I take half of that, it still kills my stomach. So I got the stimulant free, which means it doesn't have a laxative in it. It does, it's not supposed to have a laxative in it. It's supposed to help you go, not make you go. With that being said, I did start to get constipated a couple of times because I kind of, y'all know me, and I don't like to drink water. So I cut back on my water intake. I did really good the first couple weeks that I was home, and then after that. So, milk of magnesia doesn't seem to upset my stomach super bad, so I think the recommended dose is 30 milliliters, and I don't even really hardly take 15, and that helped. So, stool softeners and then just having milk of magnesia handy was a must-have. Okay, so my last must-have was ibuprofen. So, after you have a baby, if you've had a baby, you know this. If you're pregnant or trying to get pregnant, you may or may not know this. But once you have a baby, your uterus is still getting smaller. So in order for it to do that, it has to contract. So basically you still have period-like cramps for, I think mine lasted about a week and a half after. Ibuprofen is like my go-to thing when I have period cramps. Actually, my go-to thing, if they're bad enough, is ibuprofen, and I take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen and then 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol together. You can do that. That was the other thing that was my must-have. So it was the ice packs, the stool softener, the milk of magnesia, the ibuprofen, the bag balm, and my granny panties. I will not get rid of these, you guys, because we're not done having kids, and I'm like, I washed them. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm folding these babies back up, and I am totally gonna reuse these. TJ is crying. I will be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. He is really good about keeping the passy in his mouth, but if he's not completely asleep and he loses it, he gets so mad. So then I have to go back in there and I put it back in his mouth, and then I wait until he's kind of calmed down, and then I walk right back out. So we are attempting to, I don't want to say sleep train because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of backlash from that. But essentially like sleep train, and then kind of slowly getting him used to going a little bit longer without eating, because that kid will literally eat 4 to 5 ounces in like every hour and a half, and it's ridiculous. He's gonna gain too much weight, but I will do a whole separate video on that. I'm not gonna get into that here. But anyways, yeah. So the other thing that I want to tell you guys, and I'm sure if you've had a baby, you can comment below if you agree or disagree with that, but anything they give you in the hospital, diapers, like if you have any extra diapers, formula, crap, what are these called? These things, the nipple pads, the ice packs, the pads, anything they give you, take it with you. I literally took a tote bag, an empty tote bag. This is filled with all the stuff that they brought to my room, and I took it because they're gonna charge me for it anyways. So, and they're just gonna throw it away because it's already, like, I've already touched it, supposedly. They don't know any different, so they're just gonna have to throw it out anyways. One last thing that was a must-have, and they gave me some in the hospital, and I didn't like it because I think I had like a weird reaction to it, but it's the numbing spray that they give you for down there. The one they gave me in the hospital, I did not like. I did not like it. It burned so bad. But what I did get was Dermaplast. I got the one with aloe in it because they didn't have the one with the blue cap. So I just got the one with aloe in it. It worked just fine. So anyways, yeah. One last time, it was the Dermaplast, the stool softener, the ice packs that the hospital gave us, the big pads, my beautiful granny panties, and the back balm. So those were my postpartum must-haves. And the way I kind of did it when I came home was I just took like an entire pack of the pads and took them out, and I had a little basket, and I had my Dermaplast in there, and I put like a whole bunch of pads in there. What else did I have in there? Oh, my Peri bottle was in there. I had one ice pack in there, and I actually, the reason I have so much stuff left over, especially, I have so many ice packs left over, you guys, it's ridiculous, because I really didn't need them, and I didn't want to waste them. So I put those couple things just in a little basket on a shelf that was right, like, basically right in front of my toilet, so that when I went to the bathroom, it was right there. I had it. I didn't need to get up. I didn't need to go tracking it down. It was right there. That was a big help. I'm sure you will all have already thought to do that, but just in case you haven't. I also think at some point I kept my back balm in there. No, you know what? I didn't. I actually kept this in the bedroom because it was bad, guys. It was bad. So anyways, this was kind of a short video. Guys, I don't want to say it was a boring pregnancy, because it was a fun pregnancy. It was exciting. It was beautiful. I can't wait to do it again. I got really lucky with TJ, and I didn't have like a bunch of complications or symptoms or anything like that to really report to you guys, so it was just kind of boring, I guess. Boring for you guys anyways, but stay tuned, because I am also, actually probably as soon as I'm done with this video, I am going to film my newborn must-haves, because when you guys see this, TJ will be 6 weeks, but at the end of his 6 weeks. So I'm recording this on Friday, April, I don't even know what today is, but Friday, and he will be 7 weeks on Monday. So, my newborn must-haves, and I have several on that. So, stay tuned for that. I'll have that coming. Also, I will do a video on why we are doing the sleeping and eating things with him. I'll kind of go into detail about that. And yeah, that's it. So thank you guys so much again for staying patient with us and watching us, and we love you. And I say we because I'm also speaking for Tyler, who is not here, and TJ, who can't speak, but we love you guys, and we will see you next time. Bye.